What's going on, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to Pro Fan Talk. I appreciate everybody joining me. We got a good show lined up today. The NFL is a gift that keeps on giving. We still got a lot of stuff going on. Eagles rumors. The Sixers are in the playoffs. Phillies are getting off to a little bit of a rocky start, but I mean, we're not even 10 games into the year yet, I don't think. So miss me until we get to 25. That ain't nothing to really worry about. We got a long way to go, especially with baseball, man. Y'all know how this stuff works. So no need to panic, but you know how it is up here in Philly. People going to panic anyways, and people going to find a reason to complain and all of that kind of stuff. But just chill out. We got a ways to go, and should be pretty good, man. So I'm looking forward to it. And we got a special guest in today. I see some people in the chat already. Sean Young, as usual, number one out the limo, brother. I appreciate you as always. Joe M, I see you. Let me see. He's already on the poll question, thinking that Howie's going to move out on number 10. It all depends on how those first five fall, Joe. I would think that he would get out of that pick, but you never know what's going to happen. It all depends on how it falls. In my opinion, I think everything is going to revolve around what happens with Jalen Carter. So we got some more people. Martian Lynch. Hey, yo, I see you. Derry, what's going on, fam? I see you. Christopher Kicks is in the building. Y'all better check out some of his apparel. It's kind of dope. You better see it. Diane Younger. Hey, moms. I see you, mom. Good to see you. We got family supporting, and I appreciate y'all. Appreciate my five out the limo. As you all know, we take care of business. The first five out of the limo are brought to you by Fan Up. Oh, I got the wrong one up. Fan Up. First five out the limo brought to you by Fan Up. Fan Up is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NFL contests and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, a $50 value. Fanup.app. That's what's up. You into the online betting and all that kind of stuff. You keep track of the scores and the points and all that kind of good stuff. Check it out. Check it out. Hoping to see a lot more people from Cincinnati, hometown. We got a special guest that's going to come on. We're going to talk a little football, a little bit about getting prepared for the NFL draft. And a lot of stuff going on, man. We had one of the things I want to get into. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give just a sample, and then we'll get back to it a little bit later on. But one of the things that captured Philly today was the story about Adam Schefter about the Eagles are reaching for or trying to get Jalen Carter, and this is the best place for him in Philly because Jordan Davis is here. And the gist of his comments were Jordan Davis was the guy that was keeping him in line down in Georgia. And I was like, I never heard of Jalen Carter being like a malcontent or being a problem child down there, besides the issue and the accident and things like that. But that's an incident that happened. That's an event. But before that, I had never heard anything bad about the kid. So I'm not sure where that was coming from. A lot of times they try to add stories to make it live a little bit more, but I don't know. You know, we last year, you guys know the situation that happened with Nakobe Dean. All those rumors came out about Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean was arguably the best defensive player in the draft last year. And he drops all the way to us in the third round. We didn't think we were going to get Nakobe Dean, but he dropped all the way down that far, so we scooped him up. And I think Nakobe Dean is definitely going to ball this year. I think next year we're going to be mad because he didn't play last year. But we'll see what happens with that. But I'm saying all that to say rumors, stories, all of that kind of stuff gets out there. Whether it be true or not, it can affect your draft status. And Jalen Carter's in that situation because he's arguably the best player in the draft, and nobody knows where he's going to go. Everybody's waiting to see if there's another shoe that's going to drop about this investigation down there. Some people say it's over. Some people say it isn't, but you never know. And you got people that, let's keep it 100. there are people that are very spiteful and will try to put out some information right before the draft just to mess with you, just to mess up your draft status, just to mess up your money. Because that Nakobe Dean falling as far as he did, that cost him a couple $1 million. It's a whole lot of hamburgers, man. So there's a lot of things going on. I see you, Cheryl Hines, a new member. I appreciate you. Sharita Williams, howdy from Cincinnati. Cincinnati's representing, always represent Cincinnati. Y'all know I played for the Eagles, but I'm a class of 88 graduate of Princeton High School, went down to Eastern Kentucky. So while I do bleed green, I was born in the jungle. Don't get it twisted. I will always represent who they. Rob Povia, what's up, fam? I see you. I see it. Chiquita, hey, what's going on? We got a lot of people going in, but listen, let's get in this conversation. I want to bring my guest in. This young man is from my high school, Princeton High School, Cincinnati, Ohio. You know I've mentioned Cincinnati a lot of times, and I will say the same thing. Put your hand over your heart every time you say it. Princeton Vikings, we were the truth, still are the truth, and always will be the truth. And I want to bring this young man on. His name is Jamal Hines. He was a standout rush edge, the University of Toledo, class of 2017 from Princeton. And let's bring him in. Jamal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
What's going on, young fella? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You got it, man. How you doing? Got the message from your older cousin and one of my best friends, Ron Carpenter. He was like, "Yo," the guy was like, "Let's get young fella on, man. Get him some exposure, man." So how was your experience after you done with football and you get that you get that epiphany, like this is it, it's over. So now we getting ready for the next stage. So how has that been for you?
At first, the epiphany, it was a little bit of a game changer because like I'm really done with college football, but now I'm transitioning into becoming a professional football player. So that hit a little bit hard, but overall the experience has been real great, exciting. Like just can't wait.
Okay. I see you. I'm trying to throw up all family members. You know, mom's saying what's up. Ron, one of my best friends. So his mom is my mom. That's the way we roll.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she family. So hey, Miss Younger, appreciate you, miss you, and love you. But one of the things we was talking about before we got on the air, man, and I want to go right into that. You were talking about like the transition from high school to college and how things are so different. I know I made the comment about it seems like today with the social media and the NIL deals and all of that kind of stuff, a lot of these young kids don't want to come out and take their lumps. Right. They want to go to a school. If they don't like the situation, they want to go somewhere else. And what were your thoughts on that?
It's just real different. Like it makes it that much harder for the kids to separate what coaches are being real with them and what coaches are just feeding them a whole bunch of BS. Because it can be a coach that's being real with them, but then it's this other coach at a bigger program that's like, well, I can offer them a lot of money because NIL deals and we can get them here and don't even go through with their word compared to this coach that's real genuine, trying to get them out there, get them on the field and actually care about them and want them to get their degree. It's just all about the game because some coaches, they want the player to grow as a man and also leave there with their degree. Some other coaches, they're more about wins and they want to try to get the best players and don't go they go about doing that by any means necessary. So they, of course, they'll show like the money, the cars, the girls, whatever, just to get you on their campus and for you to wear their name across your chest. So these players these days just got to separate the BS from what's real. And that makes it that much difficult because you don't want to make the wrong choice.
Right. And this, the amount of business now is a little bit different. I had a guy, my brother-in-law had contacted me. He knew a kid he's in Texas.
Right.
And he had a kid that was really good down in Texas. His father called me wanting to know what he should do with his son. And I was like, right. And now I want to say he was a sophomore, a freshman or a sophomore. So he still had a couple of years left. Right. And he was just asking like, well, what should I do? How do I get him ready? Well, the physical aspect, if he's getting this much attention, physically he's going to be there. Don't worry about that. But
Right.
get him involved in like business classes, teaching them how to handle money, different things like that. Because to your point, these kids have the NIL deals and they get money before they're really ready for it.
Right.
So you
Right.
do have to have some financial literacy, because the business aspect of it is something that we never had to deal with. You know, I graduated college in '93, so our situation was a whole lot different than the stuff y'all got to deal with right now, man. So the business aspect is so much higher because you guys got so much being thrown at you, man.
Right. Right.
So let me ask you this. They
Yeah.
got you
Do that,
listed.
but hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They got you listed as 3 different positions, right? They got you as a defensive end, an outside linebacker, and a rush edge. So me being up here in Philly and being associated with the Eagles and everything, you know, we looking at Hassan Reddick. So that's the same type of mold. You got somebody that line up on the outside, put that hand in the dirt, and there's not too many offensive tackles that could catch him. How do you see yourself, or how do you see your fit as you know, getting prepared to go to the next level?
I can see myself as a hybrid linebacker, but it's whatever they need at the time. Like they need me to put my hand in the ground, I'll do that. They need me to stand up, whatever. I'm there for it. I'm willing to adjust.
But where do you feel you're best at though?
It's nothing better than putting a hand in the ground, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they drop you in the coverage a lot though?
We had a couple packages to where I would drop back in coverage.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that is based on what the offense does and what they show you, who's in motion, shift sets, and all that kind of stuff. So, because I noticed, I was looking at your stats. I believe that was your freshman year. You had two picks.
Yep, and one of them was a pick 6. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. We'll keep that in there. You gotta take credit for that pick 6, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So let me see. We were talking about this earlier. So 2018, 2019. And I thought you had redshirted in 2020, but that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
And then you had 21 and 24. So, I mean, even, let me see, you still had 2 sacks in half a year, but you had 9.5 sacks in 21, 6.5 in 22. You ended up with 21.5 for a career. And I was looking at some other guys in the draft, and I was looking at, I think I looked at PFF. And I saw they had you ranked at like 61st. And I was like, 61st? Like, how did they get that? But when you look at the whole thing, they got you at 61 out of like 480.
Yeah.
So out of all of the ends and stuff. So, like, how do you look at it? And how do you, I guess, judge yourself when you're looking at all of the other competition, especially when you're looking at guys that may not be doing as much as you, but because they go to a bigger school, like we were talking about earlier, they're at a bigger school with a lot more eyes on them. Seems like they're getting a lot more attention.
I just go about it day by day. Like I can only control what I can control, and I know where I should really be ranked at, but that's where they got me at. So I'm gonna just take it and go with it, and just constantly stay in the lab and keep working.
Are you training with somebody, or do you just like all the stuff that you got going on in school?
I do a lot of the stuff at school. I get when I first got there, I get with the older guys. We go do drills. Even after practice or so on weekends, I'll get with the GA. We go out there, perfect my craft with some other drills. Make sure I got that speed. And work on all different type of things.
Right. Did you guys did you go to the combine or did you have a pro day?
I had a pro day.
Okay. And they what's your weight at right now?
245.
So you 245, and what was your 40 time? I think I saw you had at 472. Okay,
472.
So you got pretty good speed coming off that edge, man.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a thing that a lot of people like these days. Everybody on both sides of the ball. It seems like a lot of positions are kind of morphing into something else or evolving into something else. I made the comment last week, me as a true running back, our position is going extinct because everybody wants the hybrid. Everybody wants Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuels. They want
Right.
Tony Pollard, somebody to do both, like Kenny Gainwell, guys like that. Same thing at linebacker. They're not looking for that huge guy at 260, 270. They're looking for that guy to come off that edge, get that bend going, get around that tackle, and catch them legs of that quarterback. Very similar to what or exactly what Hassan Reddick was doing. And then on the other side, we had Brandon Graham, we had Derek Barnett. I know Derek Barnett got hurt, but that is the mold of what you're bringing to the table. How was now I looked at a couple pictures of you and I was like, in these pictures, this dude looks bigger than 240, 250. So you had to have been like a little bit bigger at some point in time.
Yeah. I've got up to 250.
Okay. So that's not too bad. Well, you must have had just a slamming upper body, bro, because the picture, I know, picture put 10 pounds on you, but I was like, this dude got to be at least 260, 265, something like that.
Yeah.
That maybe it was just a picture that looked big, but shoot, the one piece of advice I can give you, bro, keep that speed, man.
Oh, for sure.
Speed, you got it or you don't. Let me see. I got a question from my buddy Sean, and his question is, what team did you feel you had the best interview or the most interest in, or have you talked to any teams?
I talked with a couple scouts, but how I'm feeling right now, just whoever gets me, that's where I'm willing to go. I'm not really specific on where I want to be right now. I just want to get my foot in the door. Right. And then once I get that foot in the door, then I'll go from there.
Gotcha. Now, what are, and just in your, I guess, in your own words, how do you feel the conversation is going with the scouts? Because
go ahead.
I was going to say, very similar to the same kind of conversation we was talking about with the coaches. Some people will keep it real with you and some people won't. So how do you feel those conversations went?
I feel like the conversation went pretty good. Some of them, of course, they see me as a hybrid linebacker. Some other ones see me as that DN to stop the edge and set the edge, stop the run, and then make the quarterback pass the ball. So I feel like all the conversations I've had with these teams are going pretty good. Okay.
Any choices? Like if it was up to you, where would you want to play? Where would you want to play at?
Of course, I would like to play for the home team, of course. It feel good being back in Cincinnati, playing in front of my hometown, just being in the jungle, having those stripes on me. Yeah, just that environment, just seeing their game days and everything is just something different.
Yeah, you spoiled.
Nah. I mean,
you spoiled, bro.
Of course, Philadelphia would be good too. Dallas would be nice.
You ain't have to say that.
What? Dallas is cool.
Dallas is that's. We do not like Dallas up in the Philadelphia area. No. Anywhere but Dallas. Although, we do have some of our alumni that did play for Dallas. Daryl Hardy. I'm not sure if you know Daryl or met Daryl. Daryl Hardy was class of 87, I believe. Okay. And he ended up going to Tennessee and he played for the Cowboys for a couple years. So we do look what I tell you. What I tell you, dude. Look at this. We don't like Dallas. We do not like Dallas, man, up here.
So well, hopefully Philadelphia could get me in their facilities.
Man, if we could get you up here in Philly, man, you could be behind Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat. You got big man in the middle, Jordan Davis, man. We got a relatively young line. So one of the things that we do have the benefit of is because we got Jordan Davis, and then you got Brandon Graham, and then you got Fletcher Cox. We got some of the best defensive linemen in the league, man. And then you got Javon Hargrave just left. He got paid out in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Right. But Hassan Reddick came in and just did his thing this year. So shoot, man, we would love to have you up here, man. I wish I could pull some strings for you to get you up in Philly, man, because we got the people that you want to learn that you want to study film with. You know what I'm saying? So we got those type of people. I don't know who this is. Let me see. You see, he's just saying what's up. They on Facebook. They for some reason on Facebook I can't see who's saying it. It just says Facebook user. So appreciate you.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we go hard against them Cowboys, man. We do not like Cowboys at all. but other than like Cincinnati, obviously everybody want to play for the hometown. But did you talk to which scouts did you talk to?
I talked to Dallas, the Bengals, the Dolphins, 49ers, the Raiders, the Chargers, just to name a few.
Got you.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything from Houston? And the only reason I'm saying that is because I know San Francisco, D'Amico Ryans went to Houston, and obviously D'Amico Ryans used to be a linebacker with the Eagles, but I know he's going to be a hell of a coach, and he's got that defensive mind. He's somebody where he knows how to take talent and make the most out of it. So he's a player's coach. So very interesting the styles you're going to see in the league. What are you expecting? Have you heard? I mean, have you talked to Ron or anything, or anybody else about like what that experience is when you go to camp? Because you're gonna end up in somebody's camp, right? So the one thing I remember is number one, that first day you just got to get all of the jitters out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Couldn't eat. The worst mistake I ever made was that first day at camp. I was so nervous, couldn't eat. I had like half a plate of scrambled eggs. That was it. And I got to practice and I was done.
Yeah.
Like couldn't had no energy because I was just so nervous. Second day I was a little bit better. Still couldn't eat, but I managed to down some protein shakes or something like that. So I was good. But I always remember got out there early in practice. Who am I? I'm warming up. Who am I warming up with? Randall Cunningham. So now I'm looking at somebody that I've been watching on Madden. So now the psychological thing is going on. Like now I'm standing with the dude I've been watching on Sunday Night Football for my whole, you know what I'm saying? So he wants to warm up. So I'm tossing with him. He throws the ball to me. And of course, we in the morning, so the grass is wet. So my hands are wet. So I go to catch the ball. Ball slips right through my hands and dang near breaks my nose. He cracking up laughing. I'm embarrassed, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things we talked about earlier, man. Getting over that mental hurdle, because now you're gonna be standing toe to toe or lining up opposite of them guys you've been watching on TV for the last 5, 6, 7 years, or since you were a kid. You know what I mean? And there is a definite mental hurdle that you have to get over, and the guys that get over that quick and realize that the same 100 yards in a professional stadium is the same 100 yards that was at Toledo, is the same 100 yards that was at Preston.
Right.
So at the end of the day, when you put your hand in the dirt, it's time for business. And the one thing I will say is when you get to camp, man, and again, it's a very, very difficult thing. Try not to make too many friends.
Right. It's a business at the end of the day.
It's a business, man. And you got people that are trying to do whatever they can to make the squad. I remember when you get to your rookie camp, they're going to throw a lot at you. I'm showing my age. Back when I played, they gave us the 3-ring binder of plays. Now y'all get an iPad, so, we don't have that no more. But, you're a rookie. There's no way you're going to learn all of that stuff in one night. Right. And I reported late because I had I finished my final, so I reported a day late. But one of the things I remember was two of the veteran running backs that were there. But we would go, of course, you ain't gonna know everything, so you asking, what do I do on this play? They used to tell us the wrong play on purpose, to make us look bad. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it's all a business, and ultimately, I'm there trying to take their spot. And that's how they go. That's how they look at it. They really don't want to help you out. You got some people that, now you got the veterans that are on a contract or something like that, they're not worried about nothing. They know they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
But you do have a bunch of people up there. Y'all all battling for one spot. So you always got to keep that in mind that, yeah, we cool. We can go hang out, get something, drink after practice or whatever. But when you step on that field, it's all business, man. It's all business. So, what else did we? Sizing up your talent. How do you see yourself versus somebody like Van Ness or some of the guys coming out of Georgia? At the end of the day, they just names at other schools. How do you see yourself comparing with some of those other bigger names?
I feel like if I was at a facility like Georgia or Alabama or any of those big schools like that, my name would be right alongside of theirs. All it is the facilities they had and the right coaches. If I get underneath the right coach, hey, I'm right there with those guys.
That's what's up, and that's what it's all coming down to, man. Because I don't care what level you playing at. Chiquita said Nolan Smith, another tall, long one. I believe Nolan Smith is probably the same size as you, 240, 250, right around there. Fast as all get out. And it's funny about the whole evolving thing, man. That's y'all rush edges, man. Y'all about as fast as running backs now.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Because there's no more. Everybody's either a running back or a running back receiver, and now you got somebody that's 6'3", 6'4", running almost the same speed. Right. You might not be as fast, but you can still keep up with them, and plus you got the wingspan. So now you can go up, get with them, juke with them, and keep them close to keep them close when you bump them on the line of scrimmage. You can get your hands on them, and of course you're gonna out muscle them. So it's a whole different strategy, man. How y'all go about it, man?
Yeah.
I know up here in Philly, there were a lot of Philly fans that were upset at Jonathan Gannon because as successful as Hassan Reddick was coming off the edge, we were dropping him in coverage too much.
Yeah.
Because we had Hassan Reddick, and then he was earlier, they still listed him as a linebacker instead of just making him a straight rush edge. And we also had Kazir White, who was a linebacker. We didn't put him on the edge.
Right.
So I remember Jonathan Gannon making a comment that Hassan Reddick could have had 4 or 5 more sacks if he would have stopped dropping them in the pass coverage. So a lot of people weren't happy with that. But I mean, if you keep getting them picks like he was getting, we can put you all, man. And I'm not opposed to go ahead and lose another about 20 pounds, man. We put you back there at safety. And, you could be a free safety, man. So
yeah.
But nah. So I'm assuming you got representation, all that kind of good stuff. I'm sure you are ready to roll.
Yeah.
Keep doing your workouts. Keep working on your speed. Speed will always come into play, man. And if there's any advice I can offer you, when you get into somebody's camp, jump into that playbook, man. Because the one thing that'll set you apart from everybody else is if you know the playbook.
Right.
Because when you're thinking about what you got to do, you're not going to perform as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you know it, when you already know it, then you get in there and you do what you got to do.
Right.
So that's the difference, because you can always tell if somebody's hesitant because they're not sure. They're looking out the side of the eye trying to figure out what they got to do. But if you already know what you got to do, man, go ahead and do that thing. Put that thing down, man. Let them know who you are on the field. You're going to get all that opportunity in the preseason games and all that kind of stuff, man. So it'll be fun. And you're gonna have fun because, like I said, it's different. But, I like to say, y'all young people, y'all have newer days. Y'all don't have two-a-days no more. I call them newer days because y'all don't hit.
Hey,
y'all don't hit no more.
I felt a little bit of the two-a-days my freshman year at Princeton, so I know what you mean. But yeah,
they don't do that no more, man. Did y'all even hit at Toledo? like spring games and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we hit.
Okay.
We have a couple live sessions, and then we have like the 2s and 3s and stuff go. But yeah, we for sure hit.
Right. Okay. Because they don't do none of that in the pro anymore.
Oh, I've heard. I've heard a lot.
It's
Like, don't knock them down. If you knock somebody down, that's one of those guys. You're gone. Like, stay up at all costs.
Yeah, man. It's weird, and y'all got to wear the. Everybody wears the helmets now, the soft helmets, to avoid concussions.
Yep.
Because when they started that last year, I don't know if you paid attention, but the first 4 to 5 weeks of the season, tackling sucked.
Oh yeah,
tackling was garbage. And we were Philadelphia was one of the worst offenders. Our tackling was hot garbage the first quarter of the season, and it was all because they were in camp. Everything was touch. Everything was you couldn't go live. Even like when you go and you scrimmage other teams, it was still very, very light. It's a shame when the most hitting you're gonna get is when you do like one-on-one drills, and you go against somebody else. That's it. They don't let you go live on the quarterbacks. Nobody's doing that no more.
Right.
So it's a very different experience. You're not gonna do as much banging. Like we used to do back in the day, but that's why I say the mental game has got to be paramount. Be on your P's and Q's, know your stuff. And then, like I said, set yourself apart, man. So, but yeah, man, and you came out of prison class of 17, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. In all conference. Trying to think. Is there anything I missed? Anything you want to go over? Any other points you want me to hit while I got you here? Any other questions you might have for me?
Anything for the younger guys out there that's watching, that's sooner or later gonna watch this video? Make sure y'all feel comfortable with the school y'all pick, and when y'all get on campus, don't come in there with the big head like, "Oh, coach said I'm gonna get this, or I'm gonna be that." Like, no. Go in there ready to work, because once you sign on that dotted line, you're just another player on their roster. Like, you got to go in there every day, like coming for that top spot. And I know since I've been at Toledo and I earned my starting spot, every day practice, I'm like, I know these guys coming in trying to get my spot, or who wouldn't want to be the starter, like making these plays, getting their name called, getting all this recognition, and you're a backup, or you're a 3 or 4 and you're not getting any reps. So young guys, do whatever you can to get on the field, even if it's just special teams. Like, any way you can help your team out, because at the end of the day, y'all are a team, and it's all about how you can help the team and y'all record. And like I said on my chest, winning the championship. And that's what we did. So when y'all get in there, stay focused, stand on books, and make sure y'all head coach make sure y'all want to leave there with a degree. A lot of coaches, they don't care if y'all get a degree or not. My head coach, Jason Campbell, he came, sat on my mom's couch, said, yeah, he's going to leave here with a degree. He said he's going to make sure of it. And that's what I did. I got a degree in criminal justice.
There you go, man. That and we kind of talked about that a little bit before we get on the air, man. When they sell you that bill of goods, man, it is very, very difficult. And you as a prospect, whether it's for the pros or going to college, you got to do your homework too. To like your point, you got to look at the history of some of these coaches. Which ones are always hopping? They go somewhere and they stay for 2 or 3 years, and then they go to another school. They're just trying to use it as a stepping stone. So the promises they make you, are they going to be around long enough to keep that promise?
Right.
And everybody is not going to do that, nor do they care.
Right.
You made a good point, man. Like you got to know which coaches have your back and which coaches don't, because they will sell you a bill of goods. And let's be honest, keep it 100. Some of those coaches are good salesmen. Some of those coaches make it sound good, make it sound like it's the best thing for you. And at the end of the day, they just trying to get another body in there. So that's definitely a good point, man. Definitely a good point coming out, man. And especially, just like you said, it's the same exact thing to what you just said about not coming in with the big head. That's the same thing keep that same mindset when you report to camp.
Right.
Because there's gonna be some guys in your class that did sign that big check.
Mm-hmm.
So those are gonna be the guys that have the big head. I don't want to get in the drills. It's like they go into camp and they have impunity because they know they're not going to get cut. They know they already signed a 4-year deal or cash that, signing bonus check, so something like that. So a lot of times them dudes can get under your skin because in the back of their minds, like, they're not going to cut me. I'm good for the next, 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. So again, that's another mental hurdle you got to juggle with, because these are the dudes, you gotta, when they do something well, you got to tell them good play, but you gotta reel it back in when they screw up, because you don't want it to seem like you spiteful or you jealous or something like that. So it is the mental aspect of all of this stuff, man, is crazy. It's crazy. That's why so many people dealing with mental health issues now.
Oh yeah.
So that's some real stuff, man. So your boy Sean says, man, get love. If you play against the Eagles, I'll let you hear it. For sure, man. Sean is one of my good friends. He's been an Eagles fan for a long time. You've probably seen him in like a couple of commercials. He's been in national commercials, all that kind of stuff. He's usually the dude with the Eagles do-rag with the shoulder pads on. Most of the time, he's usually wearing like a Brian Dawkins jersey or something like that. But he's one of the coolest dudes you'll ever want to meet, man. So, but listen, man, I'm gonna let you get up out of here, man. I appreciate your time, young fella. Glad you representing Cincinnati right.
Sure.
Glad you representing them Princeton Vikings the way they should be.
Of course.
So Sharita said you are such an inspiration. Much love. So getting a lot of love from the crib and from family, man. I always like to see that, man. I always like to see it. I don't get home as much as I'd like, but when I do get home, I will definitely look you up, man. Hopefully you'll be in some city, and hopefully when you come to Philly, I'm not gonna say if, I'm gonna say when you come to Philly.
Okay.
Whoever you playing for, I'll make it a point to try to get up there and see you, man, so we can meet face to face.
Okay.
All right, but I appreciate you joining in. Definitely. Listen, you got my number. If you ever need any help, advice, or whatever, man, ring me up, text me up. It's too easy to get in touch with me, bro.
Oh, for sure. Oh, thank you again for having me on your show. And everybody who's watching, make sure y'all keep God first and keep y'all mental is the most important thing y'all have. Make sure y'all keep y'all minds clear and focused.
You got it, brother. Thanks for joining me, man.
Thank you.
Take care. That was a good young fella. I see you, moms. Thank you. Thank you, mom. Love you, miss you. But yeah, man. Good young fella. Got his head screwed on right. Representing my alma mater to the fullest. Much love to Jamal. I know he's going to do his thing when he gets the opportunity. It should be good. But we got some more things going on. We got our Sixers finally in the playoffs, so I can worry about the Sixers again. And just when I think I can make that transition into the Sixers and the Phillies, here we go again. Something pops up about the Eagles that jumps up. I was mentioning earlier about the article from Adam Schefter about Jalen Carter. And I was like, where do they keep coming up with this stuff? It's almost like they got to come up with a story to go with what's already out there. You don't need to add anything else to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy, man, but we'll be all right, man. Everybody's still looking at what they're going to do with these top 5 picks. That's where it's going. That is exactly where it's going. Let me see. I'm trying to see my mock draft, because I know there's a lot more mock drafts. Now, it seems like Arizona is in the mix, because now it looks like people are in conversations with the Cardinals to see if they can get their pick, to see if they're willing to trade. They're in a weird situation because the ownership is not happy with Kyler Murray. So they're not going to get rid of him because they just gave him all of that money. So they got to keep him. So it's very interesting to see who is going to step up to take that pick and to see what they're going to offer, because that's going to be a hefty price if you want to get that pick at that high. Let me see if I can find. Got it here. See what's going on. Trying to see who's next. You know what? Let's go back. Let's go back to PFF. See if we can just do a new one. Let me see. Fantasy, NFL grades, NFL draft, mock draft simulator. We'll get there. We'll get going. What up? Man, I gotta get some help on my Facebook side because I don't understand how do I get the Facebook users where I can see your name. And I believe it's something you have to do on your end. You have to give YouTube permission to use your name, something like that. I don't know. So I don't know who's calling me the big baby. I don't know if that was for me or if that was for Jamal. But I appreciate you joining in. And hey, while everybody's still here, don't forget you can go to my YouTube channel, which is you can just go to YouTube and search Pro Fan Talk and make sure you subscribe to that channel. Make sure you subscribe to A2D Radio. And I just need to throw this out there. Big shout out to my boy Tom Arnone. He's doing some big things with A2D Radio. We about to go to the next level. And if you didn't know, A2D stands for Agree to Disagree. Everybody kind of looks at me blankly when I say, yeah, you can find me on A2D Radio. And they just think it sounds cool, and it does, but it means agree to disagree, because you already know here in Philly, we got an opinion, and we're going to let you have it. So big shout out to Tom Arnone, getting it done. We're making a move. So let's see if we can enter the draft at number 3. So right now, we still got Carolina at number 1, Houston at number 2, Arizona at number 3, Indy at 4, Seattle at 5, Detroit at 6, Las Vegas at 7, Atlanta at 8, Chicago is still number 9, and we are number 10. Then it goes Tennessee, the Jets, the Patriots, Green Bay, Washington, Steelers. 19 is Tampa Bay. 21 is the Chargers, Ravens, Vikings, Jaguars, New York. The Cowgirls are at 26, Buffalo Bills. Cincinnati's at 28. New Orleans at 29, and I think the Eagles come back in at number 30. Kansas City is 31. LA is 36. And let me see, Miami. Then it drops down to other ones. Okay, so Arizona is going to be – I got a feeling that Arizona is going to try to make a move. And it would not surprise me that if the Cowboys try to move up with Arizona so they can get Bijan Robinson, that would not surprise me. Everybody knows the Eagles are really not going to use Bijan. He's not in our wheelhouse. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate you. We're not going to draft Bijan Robinson. That is not in Howie's MO. Plus, we just signed Rashad Penny, so that would be a wasted pick. We can always use the help, but it always comes down to is Brian Johnson going to use a running back like we think he should use a running back? You already know I'm biased. So I want us to run the ball more. And we really don't even have to run the ball more. We just have to run the ball with the running backs. Let's get Jalen Hurts out of those RPOs. Keep his RPOs under 5, and we'll be okay. I think Rashad Penny is a force. Sermons is a force. We still got Sermon that we got to see what he's all about. So we got some things. Don, you're not wrong, man. It is. I can see the Cowboys trying to do something. I said this before. Jerry Jones is going to try to make a splash because he understands, as dark as it sounds, he's running out of time. So I can see him trying to make a big splash, or trying to get that ring, trying to get back to the Super Bowl before he leaves this earth. Because every time I see him in an interview, he don't look like he in good shape. I could be wrong. It might look a whole different scenario down in Dallas. But I can see him trying to move up. Cowboys, Bills, and the Chargers. I can see the Bills doing that. The Bills don't get that pick soon enough, though. Bijan Robinson is not lasting the 15th. Green Bay, and I'm saying 15th because if he drops, he's not going to drop any further than 14, 15. Somebody's going to pick him up. So Carolina's going to get a quarterback. Houston's going to get a quarterback. I'm looking for Arizona to trade the pick or pick somebody on defense. Indianapolis, they already got a running back, so they don't need a running back. Seattle, I don't know. Detroit, possibly. Las Vegas, nope. Atlanta, possibly. Chicago, somebody to go with Justin Fields, possibly. The Eagles, we could use them, but that's not Howie's MO. Tennessee, they got King Henry. They're not doing nothing. The Jets, possibly. So there's a chance that he could fall a lot. I just don't know how far he would fall. Washington, Pittsburgh, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen. I just don't want to see the Cowboys reach up to get him because the Cowboys are going to be looking to make that splash, and Bijan Robinson is that dude. Even though I know that they have devalued the running back position, but he's a hybrid like everybody wants right now. I think he is Saquon Barkley-esque, but he has the opportunity to be better because I think he is a better runner than Saquon Barkley, and I think Saquon Barkley is an excellent running back. So got to show my love to my Cincinnati family. What's up? I don't know who that is. It just says Facebook user, so let me know who's talking, and I will shout you out, but I appreciate the love from the crib. If you really love me, you would get you a box about yay big, put it, fill it up with Grippo's potato chips, Barks cream soda, and some Skyline chili, and you can send it to South Jersey, and I would surely appreciate you because I'm that dude. If you want to throw in some La Rosa's pizza and some Montgomery ribs in, I would appreciate that too. But, I don't want to be greedy. So, yo, Don, I was looking at Tyree Wilson tonight. I was actually looking up Tyree Wilson, comparing him to Jamal's stats. Jamal got some decent stats, man. Jamal balled out. I think him being at a mid-major, it just wasn't enough eyes on him. But if Jamal would have had those numbers at any other school in the SEC, in the Big Ten, in the ACC, it would be a different story. He would have a lot more eyes on him. Because his numbers they got him ranked 61st. And this is just on PFF. You could probably go to another site and they might have him at a different ranking. But PFF was easy. I know they do their homework. But yo, he was, 61st out of like 483 rush edges. Like that was pretty damn good. And he made I was looking at this earlier. I wanted to make some slides. I just ran out of time. But so here's Jamal's solo tackles. Now, his freshman year was 2018, right? So 2018, he had 25 solos. 2019, he had 28. Then the COVID year, he had 18, and he only played 6 games. So he was trending towards a really good year. I'm sorry, he had 11. He had 11 solo tackles in 2020, the COVID year. So he was trending to be right around at the same point, anywhere between 22 and 25. In 21, he had 37 solos, and then this past year he had 23. So he put his thing down, man. He had in 21 he had 15 tackles for loss, and in 22 he had 10 tackles for losses. 9.5 sacks and 6.5 sacks. So this past year he had 6.5 sacks. He had 6 pass defendeds, and I forget what the FR is. Forced fumble, 1 forced fumble. So, he got legit stats. You put him up against anybody. So, to the point I was trying to make about you just being in that competition, when you put your hand in the dirt, it doesn't matter. Everybody's playing the same game, and it don't matter who in front of you. It's time to go to work, and it's time to show that dude, whoever's in front of you, that you ain't that much better. What's going on with my camera? I got to figure out how to do this. There we go. I get blurred up. So, but yeah, we got the. What was I talking about? Lost my train of thought. Oh, going back to what we talking about in the draft, we got a lot of chips that can fall in those first 10 picks. Somebody is going to make a move. Somebody wants a big splash. I'm thinking that the Arizona Cardinals will do it. And you know what? If not for nothing else, the Arizona Cardinals, their organization, have been taking it on the chin lately because of some of the moves they made when they did the internal audits and finding out they were making players pay for meals and all that kind of stuff. It just wasn't a good look. You can all the way back to all of the stuff they did with Kyler Murray. They should have kept that stuff in-house. How do you let that, what was the logic? Because let's be real. Nobody just makes a move if you're part of the executives for a team. If you're part of ownership, nobody just makes a move. You got to sit down. You got to talk with the other co-owners and VPs and all of that kind of stuff. Y'all got to sit down as a group and make a decision. Now, the owner ultimately is going to have veto power because it's his team. They're his toys. He can do what he wants. But you sit down as a group, and any smart owner is going to look around and say, okay, what's the best thing for us to do? Now, how in the world do you sit down as a group? You represent the ownership of the Arizona Cardinals, and you decide you want to leak information that makes your quarterback look bad. And he's about to sign a big deal, and you just signed him to a big deal. And then you leak the stuff about him studying more and this, that, and the other. You can't take that back. You opened up Pandora's box. You can't close it. So it just makes you look stupid. They think bad about Kyler Murray for a hot second. Then you get into playtime. Then it goes back into, what his play was. And let's be real. Kyler Murray's middle of the pack. He's middle of the pack. He hasn't been too good and he hasn't been too bad. There are a bunch of other quarterbacks who are a lot worse than Kyler Murray. And all of a sudden, you got this narrative that he doesn't study and this, that, and it's like, okay, you can say that, but if you want to go back and look at the tape, are you going to say that every time somebody dropped the ball? Are you going to say that every time somebody jumped off sides? You got to be careful when you throw that stuff out there. And for them as an organization to make the decision to put that information out there, trying to embarrass him, it backfired on them. And now they look like fools. You could have kept all of that stuff in-house. Or at least, if that was what it was going to be, why did you sign him to a $185 million contract or whatever it was? That's the stuff that doesn't make sense. The one thing, and ever since 2017, and even before then, right after we got done with the Chip Kelly nonsense, props to Jeffrey Lurie because he got this organization back on track. Put Howie where he was supposed to be. Howie, and again, props to Howie because you know what? He had to take that lump. He had to take that L. Put him in the back office when he could have probably got another job somewhere else. But he took the L, dealt with the Chip Kelly situation, and then when it was over, Jeffrey Lurie made the right decision, put Howie back in place, and at least Howie had learned some lessons from sitting in the corner. He understood the assignment. So he sat back and watched for a little bit and made some corrections to his game. Now we are reaping the benefits of the decisions and the adjustments that Howie Roseman has made. Everybody can't say that. Everybody can't say that. We thought he was crazy when they hired Doug Peterson. The same way we thought he was crazy when they hired Nick Sirianni. That was not the first choice. Things were in turmoil, not what you expected. But you got to trust the guys upstairs, at least for our organization, at least for the Eagles. They are doing their due diligence. They are doing their homework. And it has shown. Everything from putting the right team together, putting the right players together, getting the right personalities at the right spots. Yes, I wish we could have kept C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but that's the price of doing business. That's the price of doing business. When your team goes to the Super Bowl, people are going to cherry pick because everybody's trying to get paid. We lucked out. Let's keep it 100. We lucked out. Brandon Graham doesn't want to go anywhere. Doesn't want to go anywhere. So he took less money. He could have went somewhere else, even as a veteran at his age, and got a pretty decent contract. He could have done that. Fletcher Cox could have went somewhere else, got a nice chunk of change to end his career on. Because let's face it, they could have went somewhere else, made one more bag, made another couple $1 million, signed a 1 year or a 1 day contract with the Eagles so they can retire as an Eagle. They go on the wall, the Hall of Fame. You know what's going to happen. You know Brandon Graham is going to be an Eagles Hall of Famer. You know Fletcher Cox is going to be Eagles Hall of Famer. Jason Kelsey's going to be Eagles Hall of Famer. When it's time for Lane Johnson, when he finally hangs it up, he's going to be Eagles Hall of Famer. You already know. So the fact that they had opportunities to go somewhere else and make more money, the fact that they wanted to stay, take less money, I put that on the shoulders of Howie Roseman and, more importantly, Jalen Hurts. You do not want to stay on the team if you don't think the man that's steering the ship has got what it takes. Jalen Hurts is that dude. Jalen Hurts is changing minds. How many friends do you have that you will willingly give up a couple of grand? Anybody's in that situation, you got to think about it. You got guys that are willingly giving up a couple mil so they can stay in Philadelphia and play with Jalen Hurts. That's big time. We are a destination city. People want to come here. I wouldn't be surprised if Ndamukong Suh tries to come back. He can do the same thing he did last year. You know what? You get in your gym, you get on your, you get on your Peloton, stay in shape, and then come week 6, 7, or 8, we need some more depth on that defensive line. Come on in. We know you stay in shape. We know you know how to play that game now. And this is a team where he would want to come to, again, because now we are the team, people are expecting us to make it to the playoffs every year. That's a good situation to be in. We are there right now. So now all we got to do is make the right draft picks. Now all we got to do is watch Joel Embiid take us to the Eastern Conference Finals and get to the finals. My prediction is that the Sixers go to the finals and they play Golden State. So we'll see what happens. So JoJo's got to be on point. We can't have any issues. All right. So I'm going to get up out of here. Listen, I appreciate everybody jumping in, supporting my homeboy, the young fella, representing Cincinnati right. I appreciate all my friends and family from Cincy that showed up and showed out. I appreciate you. As usual, don't forget to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to A2D Radio. And we'll be back next week. I already know it's going to be some more news. I already know. So see you guys next week. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being on my squad, man. Let's make this thing better. Be better than yesterday, not as good as tomorrow. All right. Y'all have a good weekend, and I will see you next week. Peace.